If you're gonna ask me about any technicalities with the seeding, you're better off looking to Wikipedia, guys. I have not been given any sheet of paper that tells me the rules or anything like that. I am in the know as much as you are. In the bottom left is the blue Protoss. It is Roots puCK. In the top right as the red Protoss, it is Ting's Neeb. So we saw puCK earlier today in a PvP against Estrella. That's always going to be even weirder than puCK's usual PvP, I suppose, because he's not exactly a standard PvPer. He really loves those weird games and will probably force the issue on it. When everyone would move back home and defend, puCK would say, okay, let's do this. But it's even weirder when he faces Estrella because they have so many games played against each other. And Estrella also, I think, can revel in the weirdness a little bit more than, say, a Neeb would. Neeb has had his tournaments where he's been, like, a little, like, out there and done some kind of weird things, but 95% of the time he's going to be on the straight and narrow. And, you know, even beyond that, more of a usually macro type of guy. But PvP is a different beast. You know, it's like TVT can go all different sections of it, early, mid, late game. You can go for the cheese, and if you're not necessarily a cheesy player, you're gonna do it in PvP, you know? But Neeb, at IEM, said that he really doesn't have a handle on PvP. He needs to kind of figure it out. He wanted to figure it out in the 30 minutes he had before his next match or whatever. A pretty funny interview with Smix. Has he figured it out since then? That's, it was not even a month ago. So. But maybe if he just does the stock standard PvP stuff, which puCK is definitely not doing. puCK goes for the not wall at all the way in the back gateways. So maybe he'll just out mechanics puCK here, but I'm not even sure what to say about this. puCK a fan of making different types of walls. Okay. So the weird thing about this, like, it's, you know, one, it's gonna make Neeb scared and go like, what the hell? And initially he probably thought it was something cheesy, but he didn't really overreact. But it's also gonna make his adepts take, like, I don't want to say an extra shade to get across the map, but it's gonna make them take longer to get across the map by a pretty significant margin. Like, if the gateways are here, that's, you know, that's whatever, but they're all the way back here on a pretty large main base. I don't think the potential surprise factor was quite worth it, but okay. Stargate is done first for Neeb. puCK proxied his, though. We'll be going for an Oracle. The Adepts making their way across the map. Neeb has the wall, however, and is waiting for the Adepts. Look at that shield battery. And the recall comes down. 4 probes did go down to Neeb's Adepts, so definitely net gain better, but how about this Oracle? How about that Oracle? 2 Stalkers come back to respond to it. Actually shows itself to the Stargate initially and just immediately disengages, but what about this one? Neeb's getting the better trade of everything, and oh god, this is too much damage. puCK just dies. puCK absolutely dies. What was... I mean, puCK saw the Stargate. He didn't even try and get a shield battery up. He had no pylon to even get a shield battery up. That's game-ending damage for sure. Oh my god. You got a juice yet? Oh, finally. 18th probe goes down and the Oracle's like, yeah, I'm good now. Thank you. Second Oracle comes in. I think it should be used maybe to help with the Adepts. Well, I guess it doesn't have to be used to help with the Adepts. Oh, puCK trying to be really clever. He's gonna get a Void right here. Force the Stalkers to go into the stasis trap, but is that really going to be enough? He's going to have literally 2 probes, 1 probe, the proxy probe, I think, and enough minerals to make 1 more, but not 2 more. Voider does come in here. There's so many Stalkers. Even if the stasis trap thing works, and it won't even work. It catches the Adept. GG, Neeb. Oh, slaps him down. Well then, GG. Next map's gonna be on Port Alexander. With Protoss this time? Cool. Port Alexander could be the last map of the day. Neeb looked quite strong against puCK shenanigans. I feel like because it is so common to go for the gateway wall off, I feel like puCK does occasionally get the Protoss who scouts no gateways and goes, oh my god, and doesn't even bother scouting even further, and just starts preparing for like a proxy gateways. But it might happen. I don't know if it happens that often. That's that worth. But it wasn't just that. Well, actually it was. Because my other point was that it doesn't provide a wall, so adepts get in, and whether or not adepts get 2 or 4 probes, it's literally a mirror matchup that's devastating. And then on top of that, Neeb's Oracle just did the game-ending damage that was easy peasy lemon squeezy, but it kind of started off with puCK's weirdness and didn't pay off. In the top left is the red Protoss. It is Ting's Neeb. In the bottom right, as the blue Protoss, he is Root's puCK. Okay, no weirdness this time. This is how puCK started off his series versus Estrella, with the weird wall off. But Estrella kind of did the same thing. And then he went back into the normal gateways. There is definitely a reason as to why the wall at the main ramp has become the standard of PvP. You look back in older VODs, even dating back to the beginning of Legacy of the Void, when people were like, oh, adepts are really good. You won't see walls. It wasn't really necessary. But then it became an absolute necessity. It became a skill to have your eyes on the mini-map, always watching that probe to set down a shield battery against an adept. And to give that up it doesn't really get you anything, is the problem. Like if walling guaranteed you lost a gateway literally every single game, maybe you could argue. Okay, maybe I don't wall. But what it does, it just takes away the option of sending adepts in. And adepts will always be a threat in this matchup, even if they don't have to make adepts first. So I'm not on board with this stuff. I did like the year 0 wall off, but that was still notably a wall. But other stuff that's been going on. Estrella also didn't wall in one of those games. He just didn't get punished for it. Not really. puCK goes for the Stalker Sentry opener. Gonna get that nice scouting done. Neeb just for the Stalkers. Slow ground pylon though. Might have mine for the Nexus in the future. We'll see what the follow-up. Ooh, 2 sentries. Sentry's amazing defensive capabilities. In the hands of a pro, good force fields are damn good force fields. The probe scout saw the lack of the second pylon, I believe. No, actually, wait, was that the second or the third one? Oh, darn. Well, it's not anything anyway, this is the point, I suppose. It's not being proxied. Neeb is sending his probe to go back home, but actually makes a pit stop, puts down a pylon sort of in proxy. But he doesn't keep his probe there, so that might be a scouting pylon. And he did see this pylon, right? So scouting pylon for what comes this direction, maybe for a warp prism, or maybe just to get adepts on the offensive, even though if you're gonna build a pylon offensively, it's usually more like here. Interesting. Sentries do not do a great job of killing things, so they will not help weirdly with that Hallucinated Phoenix. Get the full scout, but ditto with Neeb's Sentry. Wants to see the army moving out, and it might just miss it. Didn't see this pylon either. Uh-oh, 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 uh-oh. Well, it'll see the lack of an army in the main base, which is still as good as seeing it almost. Move its way across the map. Adepts. It was going to be used just to build adepts, and they are going to see the army. One's going to die right off the bat. This one could still force a warp in the main base, just threaten it. Pylon will be lost, but time has been bought and scouting has been done. Neeb is now prepping for the attack. Okay. That is so many shield batteries. I really don't know if puCK's gonna be able to break this. He has one force field to his name, whereas Neeb has a ton. That's gonna push one unit forward or to the side in this case, and not much else. Even the sentries have a lot of life here because of all those shield batteries. 5 shield batteries, one for every sentry. And the pylon looks like it's gonna be in danger, but it's kind of far back. It could also be healed by the shield batteries. I think Neeb's totally fine. He has an immortal about to pop out in just like 10 seconds here. The Warp Prism Micro is good from puCK, and the shield batteries on the front line are getting a little low on juice. The backline ones aren't actually reaching towards Neeb's units, but they will be here to help out with that immortal. More Warpins come in too. A lot of puCK's army is very, very low, but the pop-off on the shield was instant. But oh my gosh, the immortal getting one shot on some of these stalkers, instantly killing them, made such a huge difference. And puCK was unable to make that work. He's now down a Nexus. This Adept was trying to poke at that wall, so he had to warp in a stalker back at home. He's going to try and go for the main base, but Neeb anticipates this. There are 2 sentries here. Try to go for the wall off, which puCK thinks he's getting away with. He doesn't realize there's an army up here. And this immortal should have its shield back. Just as I said that, he got it back. Now it's Neeb's time to attack. He's going to find the reinforcement point. Oh, that is quite dangerous. Oh my god, you're playing a dangerous game. But it does result in more units going down for puCK than for Neeb. In fact, even saves the immortal. And Neeb will get to 2-0. There's no coming back for this for puCK. Doesn't have a Nexus. Trying to get to an immortal, but it only just started. Oh, it just ended, actually. This Warp Prism's gonna try and buy a lot of time, but it really can't. Warp Prism of Neeb is gonna go down, but he can replace that. 200 minerals ain't much for this guy. Sentry goes down, Stalker goes down, the recall only half effective. Finally, that Adept dies. Was that not his probe? Was that Neeb's probe? I think it was puCK's. Alright, so Neeb's not going to go for the killing blow quite yet, but he is in a substantial lead. He's been up in workers, mining more efficiently. He's got a Warp Prism back here again, and he is on his way to the robotics bay. So, when we see Colossus again, I guess they are coming back in PvT, occasionally, very rarely in PvZ, and apparently there are some builds around them in PvP. So this is like the second time in 6 months that or third time in 6 months that I've seen Colossus. I wonder. Now at this point, I feel like Neeb is just so far ahead that he can protect the Colossus. When the worry I brought up last time we saw it with puCK was that if it is kind of a normal game, not much is happening, the person who can make more charge lots, just more stuff and good stuff too, charge out Archon, might just win against the Colossus. But you know, if it's a small army to a small army, Colossus will add a lot of damage. And then on top of that, I do like the idea of like a 2-base Colossus all in, which is what puCK did against Estrella, and it was totally bopped. Like, it didn't work. The rest of the game just went really weird. And I guess that's what Neeb was setting up for. Break the force fields. This wouldn't happen to his units if the Colossus was actually in play, but it was a little late to the party. But yeah, I don't know about it as a like an actual composition, so keep my eye on that for the PvPs. Really close around here. We'll lose the Warp Prism for it. They both lose the Warp Prism, but it's damn good enough. GG. Neeb takes game number 2. And we'll 2-0 puck.